Hey, up next on the Marr Army Rock Show, we're heading up to Minneapolis, Minnesota, where we find Lindy. She is the vocalist of Gabriel and the Apocalypse. They've got a brand new record out called Alpha Bionic, released on April 12th. Lindy, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So, hey, I'm excited to talk to you for the first time, but for folks that maybe are just learning about your band, give me a little bit of the history of the band, how long you've been around, and how you've evolved over the years.
Well, we started a while back, but we really feel like we took shape and kind of found ourselves in 2011 with our release New World Disaster, and that's when we started touring, and then we signed with Pavement in like 2015 and released The Ghost Parade in 2016, and through Pavement, that was our first record with them, and Alpha Bionic is our second release with Pavement Entertainment. And so, yeah, the last 3 years we've just been touring, and that's kind of in a nutshell, kind of where we got our start.
Now, in the evolution of the band, when you guys first formed, you don't see a lot of six-piece bands. Were you a six-piece when you started, or is that something that's grown over the years?
Man, I'm trying to think, because because technically we started in 2002, so we've always, had a lot, I think we were like a five-piece, and then we added a second guitar player, and then we were down to one guitar player again too, and I really missed being a six-piece. I just feel like it's just so appropriate for us, and like our on-stage energy, I just feel like a gang up there as a six-piece. So once we added that guitar again, it just kind of, I just feel more comfortable as a six-piece.
So I mentioned Alpha Bionic came out on April 12th. Tell us a little bit more about the record, where you recorded it, and who you used as a producer.
The Alpha Bionic, it was basically, recorded in pieces. We have our home studio, we recorded like a lot of the guitars and some of the synth at, and then I go to a different studio and record my vocals, and that was the same studio that did my vocals, did our drums, but we used Wally J from Minneapolis and John Wheeler also from Minneapolis, who produced the record. And then we had a mix and master by Ulrich Wild, who we're a huge fan of his work, where, he did Wisconsin Death Trip and Wait and Bleed for Slipknot and Dope Pantera. And so it was pretty exciting that he wanted to mix and master the record. And I feel like he did such a phenomenal job and really got our sound across, like what we were really shooting for.
Now, I've interviewed a lot of bands, but I haven't interviewed a lot of those like industrial style, electronic style rock bands like you guys with the whole kind of, Rob Zombie-ish vibe, if I might say that. Is the writing process different for a band that does that industrial style rock than a traditional, guitar, bass player kind of band?
I think it might be. I think other bands that are more rock-based might just all get in a room and just kind of jam it out. Like for us, we usually start with, like, Jake will start writing different pieces with synths, usually on, like, Ableton, and we kind of build from there. So a lot of it just, like, starts on the computer, and, then he'll, like, email that over to our producer, and then our producer has stuff, and they'll email it back, and then just kind of piece it together like that. So I mean, that's for us. That's how we write, and I think that might be true for a lot of bands that have that industrial vibe,
So, hey, let's talk a little bit more about the record. I was listening to the kind of themes running through the record, in my opinion. I thought Systematic Chaos did a nice job of summarizing some of the themes I felt in the record. Talk a little bit about that tune.
Yeah, with every record, we always have a theme or some type of direction, and for Alpha Bionic, it's my point of view into the future of humanity and becoming less human and more robotic, and basically mixing DNA with technology and becoming less human.
Now, does that translate into your stage show? In other words, when you guys have, an elaborate kind of stage show, did the record come first, or does the stage show evolve with each record, I guess is the right way I'm trying to ask that?
Yeah, the stage show and, like, the image kind of evolves with the record. Once I kind of had the theme for the record, and it was really taking shape, and then I started to think about the evolution of what our image would be and what would make sense, because I want that to reflect. I think it's all connected. And so we changed our image up quite a bit from, say the Ghost Parade. The Ghost Parade was a lot darker, but it was a lot darker and more personal, and like the sad record. And with Alpha Bionic being more futuristic, and I had this idea of more white and flesh tones for that, and that's what that translated into our live show and our whole aesthetic and our music video. So I mean, it's all connected, so it all makes sense.
Now, you mentioned the music video. That was the next thing I was going to ask you about. Systematic Chaos has a music video that looks like it's doing pretty well. Tell us a little bit about the making of that video.
Yeah, originally we had this kind of elaborate storyline that we were going to do, and then I was kind of thinking, and I was like, it's going to be the first video, first single for the new record, and I thought that it'd be better if we were to just hit it off with, hey, this is our new sound, this is our new image, our new vibe, and just kind of hit them, bam, with a lot of energy so they could focus on that rather than trying to figure out, the storyline. And so, yeah, we shot it all in, one day. I think it was about, 10, 12-hour day. And, but, yeah, I just felt like that song was it was really upbeat. It basically summed up the entire record as a whole, and it represented the record really well.
Now, as I was making my way through the record, I came across Bleed Me an Ocean, which has a real different shift in the style and vibe of the record. So tell me a little bit more about that tune.
Yeah, that song, I wanted to write a ballad, and I had the lyrics and the melody of the entire song in my head, and I basically took it to our producer. I sung it to him, we were singing, and he started to kind of write the music around it. And so that's kind of how that went. Originally, that song was going to be basically we were going to do an anniversary version of the Ghost Parade and add a song. So that was going to be on that one. And we decided not to do that. And so that was kind of Bleed Me Ocean. We had that song, and I really wanted to use it. I wanted it to be on the record. And so, yeah, it does kind of set apart a little bit. But I like how Alpha Bionic, it does have a variety. I mean, it's pretty consistent upbeat through the whole record, but, I think everyone loves a good ballad, and, so far a lot of people have been talking about that song, so I think that's really neat.
Yeah, it jumped out at me for sure on the record, which is one of the reasons I brought it up. It's a very nice tune, so well done on that.
Thank you. Because the guys don't really like that song. They kind of make fun of me because that's the song that I wrote with the producer, and I'm like, just so, because we were rehearsing last Friday, I'm like, just so you know, a bunch of people, so many of our fans are talking about that song. So whatever, because I'm like, I like it. I love ballads. I love, sad songs, and, so I'm like, whatever, guys. I'm like, people like it.
Well, you can throw them a shout out from the Marr Rock Show. You got another vote from us.
I
will. Hey, so this is pretty cool. You are playing, we're based out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, but probably our very favorite festival in the U.S. is Rockfest in Cadott, and I saw that you guys landed on that. How did that happen?
Yeah, we actually played Rockfest in 2016, and we've been wanting to go back, and I think the year before we actually were already booked because they had asked us to do it, but they basically just asked us to do it again this year, and we felt like it was the perfect time to get back into Rockfest since we have the new release, and we're not on tour this summer because the last couple of years we've been on tour, and so it's kind of nice just to play a handful of festivals, and I'm really excited. It's a great lineup, in every single night at Rockfest, every single day. It's a great lineup, so we're really excited to be a part of it this year.
Now, what was your experience in 2016? Which stage did you play, and what was the vibe of that festival like for you guys?
We did the second stage, and so the same stage we're playing this year, and no, it was great. I was kind of worried because we played at 4 o'clock, and there really wasn't many people, but as soon as we played, the entire place filled up. It was packed. So it ended up being great. Yeah, that second stage is fans that way. Yeah.
That second stage is nice at Rockfest because the cool thing about that, for folks that don't know, all the lawn people can go up there. So people that maybe can't get up close can get up close. So that's really cool for them. So
right.
Hey, you guys.
I was walking around too with some friends with my megaphone, screaming at people, letting them know that we played, and come check us out. So maybe that helped a little bit. I don't know.
No doubt, I'm sure it did. Come on up in the shade, right? Come on up the shade and see it. So.
Right. I think I was throwing candy at people and yelling at them with my megaphone.
Now, I saw something different that I haven't seen a lot of bands do. I saw you guys offering a custom T-shirt that says "No two are the same." Tell me about that.
Yeah, what we did was actually, it started out last summer. We were doing an Indiegogo to help fund our record, and I was just thinking of ideas, just how can we raise money, and I decided, hey, I'm going to make one-of-a-kind custom shirts. And so I started making those out of my garage, and people were just buying them like crazy, and it really, a big part of that actually helped fund our record, helped fund Alpha Bionic. And so I decided I'll do more on this tour, the last tour we just did with Lords of Acid, and we sold out of them. And so I actually just made another batch last night. So people seem to really like them. I mean, I make them, and yeah, not one is the same, but they've just been like, people going to go crazy over them, so it's pretty cool.
Well, it's a cool, unique thing and an awesome souvenir to have by, a shirt designed by the singer of the band, one of a kind, so that's pretty cool stuff, man. Folks should check that out. Hey, so one last thing before I let you go, man, I see a lot of great music still coming out of Minneapolis these days, and so many good bands up there. A lot of bands have almost like a brother or sister band that they've kind of come up with. Do you have such a band, like a band that's been real tight with you for a long time?
I would say Blue Felix. We've been playing shows with them for, I would say, at least 12 years, probably. Oh, wow. And we're all friends, and it's really neat. They're playing a show next month in town, and we're playing our CD release party next month. So they're still playing the scene. We're still playing the scene, and so I think, and we're kind of similar. We kind of have like a lot of the same fans, I think, too, and so it's pretty cool that, there's a lot of bands that come and go, but, our two bands are still grinding, and playing the scene.
Well, you guys keep grinding it out, man, and we're looking forward to seeing you up at Rockfest. They are Gabriel and the Apocalypse out of Minneapolis. The new record, once again, is Alpha Bionic. Came out on April 12th, and you can pick up that custom Lindy t-shirt as well, I guess by linking off the Facebook page, right?
Yep. Our website's GabrielApocalypse.com, and it's just under a store, and we have a bunch of stuff. And I also, I got to get back to it, but I made a bunch of custom dolls, too. And we sold out of all of them, but I'm going to get back into doing that, too.
Awesome. Hey, Lindy of Gabriel the Apocalypse, thanks so much for being here on the Marmy Rock Show. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for the support.
Hang on.